Hey guys, it's Gaz and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a really amazing lasagna. So let's get straight into it. First up, I'm going to infuse some milk for the bechamel. So let me get a pan. Add around 1 litre of soy or non-dairy milk to a saucepan.
This led me to look into all of the ingredients that I was eating on a daily basis that I hadn't grown myself. And the first thing that popped into my head was non-dairy milk. So if we look at what's in the vast majority of these non-dairy milks, you'd think that they would be made from purely the oats, the nuts, the seeds, or whatever ingredient they're using, plus some water. But on further inspection, many of them contain extra ingredients like gums, oils, and sugars.
So I've turned the heat up slightly, and now it's time to add our vegan mince. I think you guys in America call it something different. I can't remember what you guys call it, but it's basically vegan version of ground meat. Sounds horrible, but yeah, this is really good stuff. I think this one I got is made predominantly from mushrooms. If you didn't want to add this, feel free to add a load of things like porcini mushrooms chopped up small. You can blend them up, portobello mushrooms. You will have to cook the water out of them quite a lot though. There's hardly any water in it, so we don't really need to do that.
The least healthful mince alternative was by Beyond Meat. Per 100 grams it has 17 grams of fat, some of which is from the dreaded coconut oil. Vivera's version has less than 1 gram of fat and 0 oil of any kind. Beyond Meat comes out lower in protein too, 15 grams per 100 grams versus the 20 grams of Vivera. Beyond Meat was better on salt, 0.75 grams per 100 versus 1.2 for Vivera. Both have a small degree of additives, but we feel that Beyond Meat was possibly the worst, utilising an emulsifier. Again, these are hostile to the gut microbiome.
So for the bechamel, or the white sauce, first up we need to make a roux. Really simple, equal quantities of butter and flour. Add some vegan margarine to the pan.
And in this case, I saw this margarine, I'm gonna put it up there. It's advertised as vegan. First of all, margarines in general are vegan because there's no animal fat in there whatsoever. It's just plant oils. But the other thing too that I thought was very gimmicky with this product is that vegan is often associated with being ultra healthy. And what is wrong with that? If you look at the ingredient list, you know, overall, the bottom line is just that it's highly processed. That's the way you do it. Rather than pick apart every single ingredient and go in depth on every single one of them, just have a look. Everything's modified, everything's fractionated. Ingredients aren't really whole foods.
And let it melt down. Once the butter's melted, add some plain flour. Stir the flour into the butter. Stir the mix for around 1 minute, allowing the flour to cook out. So when I was learning to cook, this is one of the first things I was taught to make. It's a little bit more difficult when you're doing it vegan, but it's fine. So now that the flour's cooked out, we need to strain the milk into the butter and the flour mix. Add the milk gradually.
We talked about the protein issue when it comes to plant milks, how only a few options have comparable amounts of protein to cow's milk, and yet they're all marketed as healthy alternatives to dairy. Point is, I want to talk about plant milks again, and another potential problem with plant milks, and this time it's a problem that virtually all of them have. Iodine. Iodine is an essential nutrient, which means that we have to get it from our food or from like a supplement. It's important for normal thyroid function. As I argued in the protein plant milk video that I mentioned earlier, there is a level of expectation that people have when they are buying non-dairy milks. You know, they expect it to be healthier than cow's milk, or at least comparable. They don't expect it to be totally lacking in a vital nutrient.
Whisk the milk into the butter and flour mix until it's thick and smooth. When it's thick, add more milk. Before we make our lasagna, I'm going to put some vegan cheese in, and this is totally optional. Add a handful of vegan grated cheese. Add a couple tablespoons of nutritional yeast.
He is not allowed to call his Camembert version cheese in Switzerland because they are made without animal milk.
Wir haben hier unsere Camembert-Alternative, die aus Cashewkernen hergestellt ist, aus der Cashewmilch.
Vietnamese cashew farms were the first to come under scrutiny. A 2011 Human Rights Watch report found workers at drug rehabilitation centers forced to harvest roughly 4,800 nuts a day for under $3 a month as part of their therapy. Workers suffered hand burns, respiratory problems, and other allergic reactions as a result of working with the cashews.
So it's now time to build the lasagna. The ragu and the bechamel is done. I've got some lasagna sheets, and that's basically it. I'm going to build it. I do need to check the ragu for seasoning first because I forgot to do that. A little bit more salt and pepper, and that's it. As I said, if you do not add enough sea salt or pepper to any of my recipes or cooking in general, you're gonna have bland food.
We're just gonna have a nice sit-down talk today about why your vegan cooking sucks. I'm sorry, I had to say it. My cooking's not too great, like I'm no chef.
Well, I could have done a much better job at presenting this.
But if I use these seasonings and these sauces that I'm going to show you guys, they completely transform your meal and take it to the next level. So let's get into this so you can start actually enjoying all of the vegan food you're cooking.
In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you a 3-day carnivore diet meal plan.
So I'm layering the ragu, and on top of that, I'm going to add some of the white sauce, and then a sheet of lasagna, followed by some lasagna sheets. Make sure it's egg-free.
Today I will show you how to make pasta bianca. So we are going to use 400 grams of semola, a few pinches of salt, and 200 milliliter of warm water.
Break sheets in half to fill in any gaps. There's the lasagna done. It now needs to go into my oven, set at 180 degrees Celsius for about 35 to 40 minutes. Look at that. Oh God, I felt like I was carrying a precious baby out the oven. This just looks incredible. I love how sort of the juices from the ragu are coming up and looking gorgeous. I just need to give this a try now. It's hot, but I need to taste it. Best lasagna I've ever eaten. I promise you, that is the best lasagna ever.